Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to review round 18 of the 2024-25 NBL SuperCoach season. So an okay week for us compared to, I guess, where we have been trending recently with a 449, which was a slight down this week of 32 spots, but given the deep slide we've been on, you know, that's a settling week. We will absolutely take that. If we have a look at the team and how they went. So Harrell and Mayan, the two Adelaide guys. Harrell with 87, you know, we expected to be good. Mayan with just the 31. Viscamp with a 47, outscoring him, which wasn't expected from the single game, so that's a massive effort there. And Swaka Lobalak with 8 points. Froling with just the 17 was a bit underwhelming. Gak with 16 was quite good given his price point. I believe, no, they're on the double this week, so that's why we hold on to him. Davis, you know, continues to be awesome with 105, easy captaincy option last week and I believe this week. Jackson Cartwright scoring 39. Looks like he got himself injured. So midsection, so easy trade this week. Bryce Cotton with 52, and it's going to be handy with a double this week. And Tarangi with just the 5, so hasn't really worked out as a cheap option for us. In terms of game day, pretty sure I didn't have any matches. It's all about the head-to-head semi-finals. So having a look at this, it looks like we've got Woozies has gone through with a 5.33 over the Skin Dogs. So it looks very similar with Vordenberg, Harold Davis the same. So it looks like Talent Groves was the difference maker. Prather with 55, I thought he was injured, so good stuff that he got back up from that. Had Bryce Cotton on the bench and Jackson Cartwright. So, you know, probably those two bigger hitters. Looks like the Skin Dogs sort of spread the money around a bit more with likes of Doyle, Menenga and Prather. So, yeah, got the job done in the end. And then the other half, Nacho kept his season alive with a win over Balls Up, 577 to 532. So only similar players were Davis, so Harrell with an 87. Humphreys with an 80 was quite good too. So it could be one to try and get this week potentially with their double again. Vordenberg with a 90. So I think Cairns have another double in the last week. So with a -6 break even, he might be on the radar as well this week. 575 from No Test Eagles looks alright too. So had Captain Davis, I think that was the key to a big score this week. He had the big 3 all from Adelaide, which is nice also for this week, and Vordenberg as well. Any other big scores? Looks like SuperCoach Eggs cracked to 600. So I'll get him on screen. So he had Vordenberg and Groves and Bradshaw from Cairns. So at 50%, that's 80 points for him. And then Davis, Harrell, Humphreys as well on the bench. So maybe potentially left a few points on the table, but 616 is pretty impressive. Speaking of other impressive players this week, so we've covered those guys. You know, Bradshaw, Edwards with a 71. So Cairns just must have done really well on the weekend. Adams with the 63 was good. Cook, top scored for Brisbane with 57. Pinder, 55, solid score. Mooney, Bolden. So Toby Smith Milner rather, 48 at 117, represents a bit of good value. If we go by break even, we'll see if there's anything outstanding there. Can't imagine. too much, although Blanchfield scored a 32, so he's got a negative 18 at break even. Smith Milner, we just looked at. Bradshaw, nice break even alongside Vordenberg. So could be looking to target these sorts of guys this week. Squeeze that last bit of coin. Yeah, nothing too crazy there. A couple of nice scores like 41 for Mojave King, 38 for Kyle Adnam. But Cairns looking like they did pretty well all round. So in terms of my trades this week, so we've got Tasmania, Adelaide, Perth, and South Melbourne on the double. So we've got Adelaide somewhat covered with the 3. Tasmania, we've got a bit of coverage, albeit they're more their bench players. We've got Bryce Cotton. So he's a definite start. And Jackson Cartwright, we will probably look to trade. In terms of next week as well, you do have Cairns on the double alongside one other team, which I can't work out, Illawarra. So maybe worthwhile hanging on to Froling, but he also may be expendable this week. So if we trade Jackson Cartwright, this is a fair bit of money to spend too, which is nice. So in terms of guards that we can look at, the likes of Adams, Prather, they're both on the single. You've got Sobey who will be on the double. But realistically, I think, we probably need to look at upgrading here. We do have Wieskamp who can play as a forward, and he does have a double. But we could also get the likes of Hurt. Vordenberg looking to next week potentially. Was it Bradshaw, I think, as well, was a forward guard. It's a bit of a cheaper option for this week, albeit he's only on the single. Because I guess probably the play that would be good is to get Humphreys in the team. So we could play him in the centre. We could potentially play Froling as a forward this week if we needed to. Although we'd also have the luxury, like I said, of Wieskamp being there. But with 187 to spend, we can also look at maybe upgrading. So could either, upgrade to a decent mid-price option, like again a Bradshaw. Might be a little bit stuck for options at that price or that position. But like a Vordenberg or Groves, maybe less so. Pinder would have a double this week, so maybe a differential there potentially. I will reset that. What if I just was to trade Tarangi, 286? So I can get Bradshaw at 286. So it's either that or the other option. Vordenberg I'm just priced out of, so Bradshaw's it. That's an easy one to work through. So we complete that trade. So I guess the question is just about this last forward spot. Humphreys needs to come in. Humphreys will start in the centres. We'll push Froling up here because he's probably in the conversation too. So it's realistically between Froling, Bradshaw and Wieskamp. I think based on the double, it makes sense that It's V's camp. Mayan will be on the double too, but we expect uh, V's camp to outscore him there. In terms of captain, vice captain, I think that's the way to go. Davis is just carving. Cotton's good as well, but yeah, captain, vice captain will lock that away. Obviously, if you wanted to play the loophole, you might flip them around, but I don't muck around with that in the NBL. So we'll leave it there. I guess if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the NBL content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.